Absolutely.
Brian and I are back for another cash call. I don't know if you've noticed, but my scenery has changed here. No, this is not a glorious background I'm using. I am at our new beach house at the shore, I'm in an empty room that has nothing done to it yet, as you can see, working on painting and all that stuff. But Brian and I had to be here so that we can help all of you have better conversations, right, Brian?
Absolutely. And my takeaway from Dale's location is learn to have better communication, and you too can have a beach house.
There you go. Do you see? Do what I say and you can have a beach house. Do what
There
Brian
you go.
says and you can have a beach house.
So awesome. Well, Dale, would you like me to start off today and play? I've got two calls. They're very short, but I think
Yeah.
there's some meat in them that can do that. So the first call is very interesting to me because I don't know. I'm just going to play it. I'm not going to preface it, but there's some very interesting things and there's very interesting opportunities. And one of the things you've heard me talk about this, I know you believe in this too, is I have a little acronym where I organize the people before I call, then I execute, actually make the phone calls and then evaluate. And I think one of the things that's often missing for people is that evaluation, like taking a look at yourself and say, how did I do? And I want you guys to start thinking, if you're listening to Cat Call, we appreciate you being on here. How would have you done differently? Or before we even comment, think about, hey, I would have said this, or why didn't this person do this? So start thinking about this from that perspective, because a lot of people would look at this phone call and go, that's an amazing success. Dale and I probably won't. So
We are a
without
tough crowd, Brian.
we are a tough crowd, and hopefully that'll keep people. I hope that people will still send us stuff, but we are a tough crowd. So anyway, this is actually a Zillow call, I believe. It doesn't really matter, but I'm going to go ahead and play.
Okay.
Oh, Sands. I'm looking to see about this piece of property out by the lake. It's kind of in Lowell.
On Beach Drive?
Yeah.
Yeah, the 3.9 acres for $58,500.
Yeah.
Okay, what do you want to know about it?
Well, I've actually been out to it a few different times, and I can't find there's only one or two flags like that kind of show where it's at, and I was wanting to know how I can go about finding out what is included on it and what's not.
Yeah, I can send you a survey. As far as them not
Can you
having the
pause it?
flags up.
I just have a little contextual question. Is this just raw land that he's
It
calling
is.
about?
It's raw land. It's $58,000. So we're not going to get rich off this deal, but yeah, exactly.
And it's on a lake?
It's near the lake. So
Near the lake.
Lakefront would not. Lakefront would not be $58,000.
I'd like to place an offer on that now, if you don't mind.
Lake area, $58,000.
Got it. Okay.
So
it's hard to tell you. Do you know how to read a survey with like the footnotes and? Did you say no?
Yeah, I mean I can see the survey. If you were to send me one, yeah, I could read it.
Yeah, I'll send you that. But whenever they knock down like the actual like plat flags, it's hard to actually walk it. But I can send you that in an aerial view map. Let me see. And then if you're interested, I can help you write an offer. They sent me the phone number 479-318-9015.
That's me.
Yeah, so I'm definitely hearing some missed opportunity here. Like she's jumping straight to here's what I'm going to give you, and I can write an offer if you want to buy it. But I don't know what this guy's level of knowledge is, why he's looking at this property, what he's trying to do with it, right? And how much experience he has. I want to know those things first.
Sure. And here was the first thing that I thought as I listened to this part of the conversation specifically. I agree with you. You need to do some discovery. Like, can he afford to pay attention? Has he bought land before? Has he built a house before? Does he understand that? There's so many opportunities here. Here's the other opportunity that I feel was really missed is, hey, I've got a survey. Why don't I meet you at location X, a Starbucks, my office, whatever.
Zoom.
We can sit down, go over the Zoom. We can sit down, go over the survey. If you're not going to bring value, then and I think it would be great if the guy looks at the survey and says, great, I want to write a full price offer. That would be amazing. And it may happen. I'm not saying it won't, but
if it was
there's
likely, if that's the way things usually went, I don't think we'd be doing this show, right? Like,
fair enough.
it would be that easy. You'd just be like, oh, great, you called my number, let's sell you something. You and I would not be coaching. We'd be just selling a shit ton of real estate.
It'd be simple, right? Yep. Okay, sign here. But that's not the reality that we live in, unfortunately, or fortunately, depending on how you look at that. But yeah, my first thought was you missed an opportunity to say, hey, why don't we get together either over Zoom or in person? That way I can go over the survey, give you an idea what it is. We can compare it to the aerial map and oh, okay, you're bringing me a ton of value. Now, I can understand why many people would look and go, a $58,000 transaction. Boy, that's not even worth getting out of bed for. But we don't know yet, because maybe the guy wants to, maybe he can afford $300,000 or $400,000, and
maybe
he just wants
to build a
house.
home builder. Maybe he's a custom home builder with no real estate agent relationship in particular. Right.
So we've missed the opportunity to find out the information. We've missed the opportunity to potentially make an appointment. So I'm going to play. There's less than a minute left. I'm going to play the rest of that because I feel like there's some other stuff in here as well.
sandsdecorative@gmail.com.
Yep, that's my email.
Okay, I'm going to send you the survey as well as a parcel picture when we get off the phone. And then you can look at that. If you have any more questions or want to go back out there, I can arrange that as well. So let me do that, and we'll go from there. And I'm going to text.
So what I would like to see somebody do then is, if you're not going to set the initial appointment to look at the survey and go over that together, hey, I'm going to send you the survey and the aerial. When would be a good time for us to meet to follow up to make sure that you see what kind of questions you have, and then potentially go take a look at the property?
Yeah.
If you're not going to set the appointment right away, at least say after you look at it, let's set an appointment. So, because again, you guys remember this. I'm sure those of you who watch Cash Call are probably sick of hearing me saying it. Step 1, build rapport. Step 2, do discovery. Step 3, set an appointment. And then step 4 is button up. So,
and to clarify what you just said, when we say set an appointment, everybody, the appointment can be the next step. If it's not going to be a face-to-face or a video, the appointment is, when are we going to talk next? Hey,
yes.
When can you take a look at that? Great. Let's talk again on Friday at this time. That's an appointment.
Yes. Just because they're not physically meeting, it's still an appointment. You still got a commitment. You still got someone who potentially is going to work with you, instead of, hey, look at it, let me know, and then call me.
Right. That happens so often.
Calling you back. Yeah.
That's so common where salespeople just forget. They have this fanciful idea that the lead is going to be thinking about us and get back to us. That's like 10% of the time.
Yeah, and it's great when it happens. And actually, I take it back. It's horrible when it happens, because it'll make you believe it'll happen again.
So when I train people, I'm like, listen, I want you to pretend that first conversation you have with someone is the last one you're ever going to have with them. You'll never get them on the phone again. You'll never talk to them again. So you better get it all in there now.
Perfect. All right, I'll just finish up this last 30 seconds and then we'll go to the next one.
Right now, so you've got my number, so you can just call me back directly instead of Zillow.
Not going to happen.
Okay. Awesome.
And I'm going to send you, I just sent you a text message. Okay. Well, I'll get that email to you, and then you've got my number, and we'll go from there.
Okay. Thanks a lot for the help.
You're welcome. Bye-bye.
Yeah, that's not a clear next step.
Right. And so I love what you say there. Like, have a clear next step. Know exactly what's going to happen. I'm going to send you this email. You're going to review it. After you review it, let's talk on Thursday at 3:00, and then we'll figure out what the next steps are.
You know what I want to do? What I want to do, Brian, is like, I want to take those phrases like, we'll go from there, and be like, okay, now you tell me, when is we'll go from there going to happen? What day and time? And we'll go from there is going to be what form of communication and for what purpose to achieve what? Like, if you can take, like, that might help shift the perspective of a salesperson to be like, okay, I get it. That's a throwaway thing that I said.
Yeah. And for me, here's another reason I want to do more discovery. Like, I don't even want to bother to send this person the plat map and the aerial if I find out that they've got, $58,000. They were planning on doing 100% financing.
Yes.
It's not even literally not even worth my time. And this happens sometimes. You get a VA buyer, for example. Well, the VA promised me 100% financing. Well, great, that's true, but they won't finance 100% of a piece of land. Matter of fact, they won't finance a piece of land at all. Oh, well,
Right.
I didn't know that. And I'm not saying this guy's a veteran. I don't know because we didn't ask. So, you know, and again, it's funny because you hear me say this all the time. I don't want to have the financing conversation on the phone very often. Land is the exception. Why? Because the truth of the matter is, I don't want to sell land. I mean, I'll just be honest. I don't want to sell a $58,000 piece of land when I can sell a $250,000 house. So, in this case, I do ask this. Hey, Dale, out of curiosity, have you talked to any lenders about land, or are you planning on paying cash? Oh, well, I'm going to talk to a bank. Okay, great. Have you done that yet? No. Well, have you considered that when you buy land, generally speaking, you're looking at somewhere between 25 and 35% as a down payment? Is that something that you feel comfortable with? Oh, crap. No, I can't do that, you know, or yes, absolutely. I'm going to pay cash or whatever. But it's a discovery that helps them. And here's the difference between the discovery that helps the client and the discovery that helps you. When you're probing about someone's income to find out if they're worth showing a house to, that's different than finding out. You might be educating people saying, look, this is an opportunity to understand that land is different, because people don't know that. Why would they? You know,
Right.
I got pre-approved at 3.5% down FHA. Okay, but that doesn't mean you can buy land for 3.5% down. So anyway,
Right. Yeah.
but
And a
I've
lot of
got
people
another.
don't
Yeah,
end
go,
up
Josh.
buying. A lot of people don't end up
Yeah.
buying, building their own house. They just don't.
And that's another thing. You know how much it costs to build a house today? Like,
Yeah.
and do you know how far out that is? These are great questions to do. And a lot of times people go, that sounds really hard. I don't want to deal with it. Perfect. So let's talk
Like,
about
that's
buying a
what
house
most
that's already built.
Yeah, right. That's how most people feel about it.
Yeah. I don't want to build a house. I don't know if you do or not, but that sounds like bad. I don't know, you know, such descriptive words. But anyway, I've got another short call, or you
Yeah.
can play a call, however you want to do it.
Go ahead. Let's hear yours. I'll save mine for next time.
All right, perfect.
We got a bunch of people on here today. Hey, everybody. Good to see you. Thanks for joining us. It's a party. We're having a cash call party in here.
All right. I got it queued up. Now I don't have to try and mute somebody because I'm not coordinated like Dale. I don't manage to mute people very well. So, all right. You know what? I don't know if I hit share sound. Good, I did. Perfect. All right, here we go.
I'm interested in this property in 19555 South 16 Highway.
Okay. Yeah, just give me a few minutes. I just need to look up the property. But in the meantime,
Okay.
I have a couple of questions. This helps me do my job a little bit better. Andy, when are you guys looking to move?
So I love that I didn't have to get that whole thing. And you know, this is a huge pet peeve of mine, Dale, and I think it is of yours too. Let me look that up. Click, 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 silence. And, you know, I just want to scream. So I thought you did a great job there. I said, hey, look, you know, while I'm looking that up, I got a couple of questions that you can ask. I might be a little bit more direct than she was, but I don't have a big issue with, you know, it helps me do my job. A lot of people like those little caveats. Hey, this helps me do my job a little better. If you don't mind, I'm going to ask you a couple of questions.
Yeah.
So I'm okay with that.
And what did the lead say? The lead said I had a question, or I wanted to see it. I missed that part.
He had a question about the property at, I don't remember the address.
Got it. Okay. You know, the other thing is I specifically train agents to practice in the absence of having a computer or a look it up in front of them, right? I train them that for specific reasons. And so in this case, the guy says, hey, I have a question about whatever address. Great. What question do you have? He's going to ask his question. Okay, so you want to know XYZ. Great. Would you like to go see it if that's the case, or if that works out for you? Move straight on to setting the appointment and then go into your discovery, right? A lot of times you can get around the necessity to actually answer the question. Believe it or
I love
not.
that. You know, and that's a great way to handle it too. I'm okay with the way Sarah handled this, but this agent handled this. Sorry, I'm okay with the way this agent handled this, but I'm also, you know, the way that Dale does it. You know, you can get away from it. And both Dale and I, when we started in real estate, you know, people would call us about properties and we had no idea, so we almost had to learn this out of necessity.
We would, yeah, exactly. You couldn't do it like that.
Yeah. First of all, you know, when the internet used to make that crazy sound when I start, you know,
dial up.
Yeah, dial up, and you know, all kinds of great stuff. Anyway, I digress. Let's listen to the rest.
Well, I'm getting information yet. I'm just interested in the property.
Okay. You don't have a timeline on when you'll move, like in the next 3 months, or if you like this property, maybe, in the next 30 days, I'm
Oh, wait,
assuming?
can you talk to my wife? Hold on.
Sure.
I don't know what you're talking about.
I'm sorry. Andy, is it just you and your wife moving, or is there other people moving with you?
Maybe it's for investment, I think. We will not be moving.
Oh, okay. It's for an investment. You guys won't be moving.
Okay, let me call you
Is that
back.
what you
Let me
said?
call you back, okay? Let me call you back.
Okay.
No,
All
he
right,
just bailed
so-
on that conversation.
Right. So here would be my question, Dale. When he basically said, I just want to know about this property, where would you go from there? Because I have a feeling I would go a different direction, not necessarily than you, but then this agent went. And let me say, this is a tough call. Like the guy in the middle of the call says, "Here, talk to my wife." Like,
Right.
and
then doesn't
that's
put the
hard to
wife
deal
on.
with. Right. So
Yeah,
it's
so
a
if-
challenge.
Given that he's got English as a second language and he says, I just want to know about this property, I would have just simply turned the question around and said, what do you want to know?
I love that. And that's exactly the same place I would have gone to. Like why, and you've talked about this. We did an entire cash call on this. Current, past tense, present tense, current tense. So when things get sideways, go current tense. And I think the big mistake that this agent made, and let me just say this, I have no idea if this call was savable. This was a challenging
Yeah,
phone call.
She went
But there's,
future.
yeah. So did you want to move in a month or 3 months? When did you want to move? After the person said, I just want to know about the house. So understand that the second you go to that future tense, like Dale talked about during Cat's call that one time, is now you're sticking that person in a situation where it feels like pressure. And you could tell this guy felt pressured. So, go to those current tense. Oh, okay. So you're looking for an investment property. What kind of information can I get you about this property to help you make, a good choice here?
Yeah.
Oh, Oh, by the way, would you like to just go take a look at it? Would be another great question. Like, I understand that, you're not sure where you're at. You want to just go take a look at it? And
Yeah.
when I'm having communication problems on the phone, that's what I want to do. I don't know about you, but I want to maybe I don't do as much discovery on the phone. Maybe I just try and set an appointment, because in person, I have a lot more ability to communicate because I can read body language and I can look at some other stuff. And, it's easier. And also, I hate to say this, but it's kind of trapped. In other words, I'm in a location, I'm in my office, I'm in a Starbucks with 2 people. I guess they could just hypothetically get up and walk out, but probably not, So
Yeah.
whereas this, he went, you know what, let me just hang up on you, click. And so,
And I want
remember
to
that.
defend the agent. She was doing what we teach, right?
Yes.
And this is the reason that you and I keep doing this. And the reason that we work with our clients when we work with our clients is because there's sort of levels of training that you can get people to. This agent she didn't recognize what you just talked about, which is, if I go future on you, we're already rocky here. If I go future, it makes you work harder versus staying present and simple, that I can keep you here with me. That's a higher level skill, right? She was doing the training, she was blocking and tackling in terms of discovery, but what you and I are talking about is another higher level sales skill that takes time to develop and have people teach you. Do you know what I mean? So I wanted to defend that salesperson so that people don't think that we're picking on her.
Yeah, let me talk about her. She only closed 7 transactions. She's only got 7 deals on the books for July. So great agent. And
she has 7 deals on the books for July.
Yeah.
Wow. Nice.
Yeah, great
That's
agent,
great.
so, and I'll say this, even a great agent has bad days. Even a great agent has bad phone calls. I'll take 100 people on my team doing 7 deals a month. That'd be pretty amazing, right? I'd be the number 1 team in the country. But my point is that there's still opportunities even for the best people to learn, because here's another question for those of you who are listening going, man, what would have I said? How about this? So you're looking at it as a rental property. Do you guys own any other rental property? And again, that's a current, oh, no, this is going to be our first property. Oh, fabulous. So,
there we go.
Or no, cool. Yeah, I do. Oh, great. How many do you own? Oh, I own 7. Now we're having a conversation that makes a person feel comfortable. Oh yeah, I own 7 rental properties. I got one here and one here, and we got a duplex and remember, people's favorite subject is themselves. So if you can get them talking about themselves and about what they're doing, it again relieves that pressure. So, if you've got somebody who's asking about rental property, I always think that that's a great question. Oh, great. So is this going to be your first rental property, or do you currently own some more?
Yep, absolutely. That's a great place to go. And I think the point of getting them to talk about themselves, yes, absolutely is what we need to do. And I could see people being like, well, that's what she was trying to do, get them to talk about themselves. The problem is they have to see value in it first. They have to see the value of talking about themselves in order to do it. If they are, for instance, using this present tense, I want to know about this property, and you're pushing them out into future questions about themselves, and they're like, why the F do I don't want to talk about that with you. There's no value to me in doing that. They won't talk about themselves. So it's not just, you can't just say, get them to talk about themselves. They have to see a value in talking about themselves. If you can meet them in the present, you can get them to answer some questions like what you said, which is, okay, great. You want an investment property? Do you own any now, or is this your first one? They'll see value. Usually they'll see more value in that and start to answer those. Then you can start to string it out into the future and get more of their scenario, but you have to hook them first. They have to feel value to it.
Yeah.
Like, I'll give an example. Can I give an example
please,
real quick?
Oh, please.
Expireds, right? Nobody really works expireds right now because they don't exist.
They don't exist.
But they will come back.
Yeah.
They will come back. And one of the death nails in the coffin of trying to talk to an expired is you call them up and you're like, hey, Brian, I see your house didn't sell. Do you want to sell that property? And you're like, nope, I don't want to sell it. The worst thing to do is try to be like, oh, Brian, well, why did you want to sell it in the first place? Because you're an expired, you see no value to telling a strange salesperson what your past motivation was. And it shuts down more of those conversations than you can imagine. It's because you see no value in talking about that. That's past. It's over. I'm beyond it. I'm somewhere else now. So that's another demonstration of you don't get the answers when the lead or the person doesn't see the value in telling you.
Yeah, and I love that perspective, and here's the thing, and this is really, really hard. And I'm not saying, when you get to know somebody in person, this is significantly easier to read their level of comfort or discomfort. And, we talk about this. One of my favorite things to do is just pay attention to people. And here's a little interesting trick for those of you who study body language. The one body part that cannot lie is your feet. How about that for an interesting thing people didn't know? So if you ever watch people's feet start pointing towards the door, that means they want to leave. They feel uncomfortable. It's a fight or flight response. They have someplace to go. They start to feel uncomfortable. Pay attention to that. But here's my point. In person, I can turn around and mirror match them. I can, do that. On the phone, it's much more challenging. I can mirror match tone, volume, and rate, but that's not going to help here because this person, we have a language barrier already. So, the only thing we have left is getting them to talk about something that they feel comfortable about, that to Dale's point has value. So what's something else do you value? I'm not a huge fan about financing, but perfect. So you want to do this, hey, there's some special financing options for people who have investment property, who do our investment property. I would love to connect you with someone who can help you with that, unless you already have somebody in place. And again, why am I doing that? I'm trying to bring some value. And I said that it's special. It's an opportunity, versus, hey, I can get you a lender. Okay, that's different. Rental property is special. Since it's special, you need special help. I'm the guy who's going to provide you special help. Bring that value at every level. And here's the thing. Sometimes we're just throwing darts against the board trying to find something that's going to bring a value, right? I might say that and I go, nope, I got $10 million in the bank. I don't need you. Okay, maybe let me start over again, but sometimes it's part of the game. But, you're looking for some way to bring these people value. And, again, very challenging call. I'm not, this is not one of those calls, and I'm sure you do this sometimes. This is not a call that I'm going to call this agent up and say, look, we need to go over this. You did a really bad job. This is a call that there's an opportunity to get a little bit better, but I'm still very happy with what this agent did overall.
Yeah, I think that for that agent, if she's not already aware of the tense of questions, if she hasn't been trained on that, I'd say that would be the only opportunity, because as far as you and I can tell, that's about the only way that we could think to save that call. And if she has that skill, if she has the skill set and forgot it or had a bad call, whatever, if she's never been taught that, I think that would be the one one lesson that you could give.
No, I love that. And I hope those of you watching us today can get that, because yes, this is an extreme example, but think about all those examples of all those phone calls that you made that went just a touch sideways, not like this one where the guy hands the phone to his wife, because that's pretty extreme.
And
but
she doesn't want to talk either.
Yeah, like, no, you was like hot potato, but but there's lots of phone calls and you can hear it. And this is what's so important about paying attention. You can hear a call start to go sideways. And that's really what I wanted to play this for. What do I do when a call starts to go sideways? I go to current tense. I go to questions that make that person feel comfortable, and I go to questions that theoretically can provide value, like Dale's talked about. So
yeah, excellent. All right, everybody, thanks for joining us today. Brian, thanks for the calls, man. Those are really good examples of stuff that we can work on. I'll hold mine until next week, but it's definitely one that I think we should cover.
That's great. Well, Dale, I appreciate every Wednesday. Some of my favorite 30 minutes of the week. Look forward to talking with you next week.
Mine too. See you next week, my friend. Bye, everybody.
Thanks, everybody.